What's up guys, it's Amanda and I'm going to be filming a very impromptu video today. This is quite possibly the most makeshift filming setup I've ever had. The lighting is really bad. It's gonna look really yellow because the walls in this room are yellow. But I thought it would be fun to dig up some of my old art projects from the art classes that I have taken. These are years old by now, but I thought I would just dig them up and show them to you guys. I took AP Studio Draw in high school. I took it my junior year. And then senior year, I took a college course at the community college, which was like an intro drawing course. So these are not in any order. And they're just kind of like art projects. Like they were assignments that I had to do for those classes. I don't have like all of the original prompts anymore. So I'm trying to remember what most of the like assignments were for. So I'm sorry if I forget some of that stuff. And again, sorry for the lighting. It's going to be super, super weird throughout this video. And one final disclaimer, I'm sorry if I'm talking funny. I am still like a couple days out of getting my wisdom teeth removed. So my face is still really swollen, which is why I'm not showing it to you. So let's just go ahead with this video. So I wanted to start out with this piece here just because I thought it was quite possibly one of my greatest works of all time. Like I said, I cannot remember what the assignment was for this, but it's like the yellow is like some sort of chalk or something, and I think the iguana was like I think it's an iguana, was like a still life thing, and then I like added a cigarette. I am not sure why. I think, I don't know, obviously there's a lot of things wrong with like the proportions in this piece, but yeah, I like it. I think I gave up like halfway through, but I did it with sass, and it really grosses me out to touch this piece because the yellow is like some sort of chalky thing and it's driving me nuts. So I am going to cover that up. A lot of the assignments from my intro drawing course, the college level one, were done in like charcoal and Conte mediums, which I hate. Charcoal is the vein of my existence, so a lot of these I really despised doing. This is like another like combined like half still life, half like artistic freedom piece, I guess. And so we took objects from around the room that were still life, so like the violin, the glass bottle, and then the box in the back, and then we got to like arrange them in any way that we wanted and like play up the proportions and stuff. And this was done in Conte. These are much larger pieces than I would normally work on, and oh my god, touching them feels so gross. Ugh. Does anybody else get that, where like you touch charcoal and like you die a little bit inside? Because I do. This is a piece from my junior year of high school, and the assignment was just like create a lot of lines over surfaces, and clearly I like didn't finish like this part, or I kind of like half-assed it. I think had I done this part, it would have looked really, really cool. It would have looked a lot more finished than it does now. But yeah, here's that one. This was a self-portrait attempt. Basically, we just had to really like play up like solid shadows and stuff. I don't know why I didn't like draw my actual eyes. I guess because it would have been really difficult to like accentuate the certain shadows and stuff. So I guess I just like left them out, which makes it look really creepy, but kind of cool. So there's that for you. This is another still life piece. I honestly do not like doing still life, you guys, but this was for the class, for the college level drawing class, and this was just a still life thing. We had like this little like mini sculpture of an elephant head on this stand, so I just decided to draw that. Obviously, you guys know I love elephants. Shout out to my elephant pajama pants making a cameo in this video. Okay, this is also from that college course. At one point during the semester, we had to pick a theme and kind of focus all our drawings around that, and I chose a sock monkey because I just had it, and so I like got to like bring it to class every day. It was kind of cool. And so a lot of the pieces from this class ended up having like a sock monkey as their central theme. Clearly, I don't think this one was finished, but it's just colored with Conte and charcoal on toned paper. So I actually do think this looks kind of cool. I like the sock monkey in a lot of the pieces that I did. This was kind of just like a random doodle that we did in the class. I don't know, it's kind of smaller, so you might not be able to see it. And you can see the giant shadow from my camera. I couldn't get rid of it. I tried, guys. Sorry. And it was just like a still life drawing of a skull. This piece was actually not like a project piece. This was like strictly for like fun and recreation. But I did it on a bigger sized piece, so I found it in my portfolio with all of these other pieces, so I decided to show it to you guys. It is not finished. It's about halfway finished, but I really do like the like lace details here at the bottom. I thought they were really pretty, and I was able to get that detailed because it was on a bigger scale, so I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know, like it's nothing that I ever really plan on finishing, but I thought it would be cool to show you guys. This is a piece from a class I took my freshman year of college, actually. It was like one of the only like actual art assignments we ever did, and I can't remember the prompt, but basically we had to use like 3 materials, I think. So I did like white gel pen, black ink, and then coffee was my other tool that I used, which is like what's staining the paper. And it's just like this girl and like these little silhouette birds are like picking up strands of her hair. And then on this side, it's kind of like going down into like roots. And it says, "My roots are what created me, defined me, but my wings are what help keep me free." This is another drawing from my high school class. It was a self-portrait. Again, we had to play up like doing different lines over all of the surfaces. So I took one of my like old Facebook profile pictures and basically used that for this assignment. It's kind of, I don't know if you can really tell, but it's like me throwing sass, like looking away from the camera, and then I'm like drinking out of a Sonic cup. I don't know, I actually do think this looks kind of cool. I like the effect that this technique gives. This is another one of those sock monkey pieces. This one is like huge. I don't know if you're really going to be able to see it. And it was done in graphite. Basically, we had to draw like different stages of motion for the sock monkey. And so I did the sock monkey in like a somersault pose. You can see like up here in the corner, really faded. He's just like sitting, and then he like falls forward and then like rolls up to do like a somersault, and then here's like the finished somersault. I actually don't know if this was like entirely accurate, and the reflection is really bad, sorry. There you can see it a little better. I don't know, it's gonna be really hard to show you all of these in really good detail. This, I'm actually not sure which way this goes. I think it goes this way. The assignment for the day was to do like an abstract drawing. It's just kind of like a way to like loosen up. And so this is what I did, and I think it looks cool, but I honestly could not tell you any of the thought that went into it or anything like that. And again, it was done in charcoal, so it really grosses me out. I don't know why I hate charcoal so much, you guys, I just do. Okay, and then these are all from like my AP Studio Draw class. We also had to pick a theme for that class, so some of these are going to be along the lines of those themes and some of them aren't. This one was not. This was just an additional assignment that we had to do. Basically, we had to find an image, recreate that image on a piece of paper, and like leave tiny little gaps between all of the places where the color meets, and then go over the entire piece with like India ink. Yeah, I don't know. It was a really weird process that I don't really think did much. I mean, it made the image look really like distressed, obviously. So I just did this piece with like this pinup girl, and I remember that my school would not let me show this in a like art showing because it was like a pinup and it was like scandalous, and I went to Catholic school and apparently like boobs weren't allowed. I don't know. Next, I have this piece, which was done in oil pastels. And for this assignment, basically we had to cut out an image, like an incomplete image from a magazine. So I cut out like this face, and then we had to like complete the drawing around it. And the face is still the best part of the piece, the one part that I did not draw. And I kind of just like half-assed the rest of it. Although I do like how this part right here, it's supposed to be like cars driving by really fast, so they're like blurry. But I do think if I had taken more time to finish this piece, I would have liked it better. Now, getting into a couple of the themed ones, I'll tell you guys a little bit about the theme that I picked. I decided to focus on doing Catholic saints, or like saints that you would see like in the Catholic Church. Because I was raised Catholic, and I knew a lot about the history, and I knew that it was like part of my culture, so I grew up kind of around that stuff, so I knew it would kind of help me to stand out when my pieces were being submitted to like the AP board. So that's kind of why I went with that theme. I'm not a particularly religious person these days, but these kind of saints and these kind of like images are a huge part of like my upbringing and my culture. And I've basically been drawing saints the majority of my life. You guys know when I was little, I did this thing called the Spanish market, or the youth Spanish market, where basically I made bank every summer selling this kind of stuff to tourists. So yep, this that was my theme. This drawing right here, I believe this was done, I cannot remember the medium for this actually. It looks like some kind of like paint, like maybe oil paints or something, but I can't really tell. But this is Saint Vincent, or San Vicente, patron saint of like wine and vineyards, which is why I drew like this vineyard. I like this part of the piece the best, I think. And everything else I really feel like I probably could have tried harder than I did. Hopefully this is in frame. I can't really tell. There we go, yeah. I mean, so that's a little bit about my theme and about this piece. Oh, here's like another one that was just part of like a random assignment. This was, we had to do something with denim, like really close up. So I did obviously like a close-up of like my denim jeans, just kind of like thrown into like kind of messy. And then I drew like the pocket, and then out of the pocket I drew my Copic markers because that was like my obsession. But yeah, I thought this was a cool assignment, and I did this using Prismacolor sticks, which are like woodless colored pencils, and I actually really loved working with those. I think they're a really fun medium. You just can't get super fine details with them. So these next two pieces are kind of like the same assignment, and again they go with the Catholic saint theme. This is Our Lady of Sorrows, or Nuestra Señora de los Dolores, and basically we had to create the same image 2 times, one like how we would normally draw it, and then one in like a cubism style. So this was like how I would normally draw it, obviously. Like this is more like my style of drawing, and I did this using watercolor pencils, which was another one of my favorite mediums during this time. And I think that the colors were super bold, they were super fun to work with, and I don't know, I really like the way they looked. And then this is the cubism version, which I also think looks really cool. It reminds me a lot of Beauty and the Beast, and I really liked how the folds in the clothing ended up looking. So it's honestly hard for me to pick like which one of these two I like more than the other, because I like certain aspects of both. And I just thought this was a really cool assignment, so I like the way this one turned out. And the last one I have is another one of the saint pieces. We had to do like a bird's eye perspective, or like an extreme kind of foreshortening. I don't know, you guys can't really see close up on this. Let me zoom you in a little bit. This is Santa Librada, or the patron saint of liberated women, and she's usually depicted crucified on a cross like she is here. And so for this image I decided to draw this from the perspective of like her hand, and then you see obviously her hand up here really close up. Her face is kind of peeking through the back, and then her other hand is in the background. And I also colored this using watercolor pencils. Again, I really loved working with that medium because traditionally when I painted saints in the Spanish market, I used watercolors. So this was just kind of like a different way of basically doing the same thing. I was very used to it. I really do like the way this piece turned out. I think the colors are really cool. I could have done more with the background, but I'm almost kind of glad I didn't, because I think the fade from like the green to blues to like purpley blacks and then this like really like orangey yellow sky looks really good. So yeah, that is the last piece I had to show you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I did a video like this a while back on my channel where I was just showing you guys all of the pieces, all of my old artwork that I did like for fun. But I thought this would be kind of different because these are the artworks that I had to make look professional and finished and that I did for my classes. And basically these two classes that I took, this AP Studio Draw class and this college level Drawing 1 course, that's like all the formal training that I really have in drawing. And everything else has pretty much been like self-taught. So yeah, I just thought it would be cool to show you guys. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and what have you. And I will see you guys Friday with my Artsy Fartsy Friday video for the week. Bye guys!